change, you ask? What are my aspirations, my dreams? What do I beg to whom? For what is an if but a solution to a hope? And I hope for a call.
If you can shoot an offspring in the arms of a mother, with desert terrains and tanks below, then a change of scenery replaces any other, you should feel no pain to shoot your own. If you stand at altars and pray for peace, and condemn those that break law, yet when it's your country sent forth to kill, over guns you pray a just war.
If you could erase errors from the past, there would be non-existent plans in the future. If you could see the future, how much would the gift of the present be cherished? If icons of goodness and sincerity held the globe, the world will spin gracefully without disaster.
If gives dreams legs and ambition a new wing, if is that passion between you and that fall.
It's the crutches for our fractured hopes and wants. It's the humble sense that folks are greedy. If I could go back in history, I'd think about changing the future, curing ignorance with the remedy of education and nurture to create a thought potion. If I could walk like an Egyptian, I would walk on the thought of a revolution. If I could change the world, I'll make it a better place for dodos, or at least create an egalitarian society, quid pro quo. Animal extinction would become a thing of the past, even in Mauritius. Ifs and buts might dress my thoughts, but actions speak and words are mute.
If I was the man who smiled and grinned, in and through the horrors of life, white survives within the drifts of winds. If I was kisses from echoing stars and the ropes that elope from them and from the distance we are, would I be lesser than the man who cries and frowns through pain, lesser than he who holds his axes of time, yet chatters his teeth through failure? If I was ever that man, that actually, through being truthful, lied to you hundreds of times with deceit in spoonfuls, only if I was that man.
If innocence overruled anger, if peace overruled war, if love overruled hate, maybe we'd find what we were looking for.
If it is some thread of an ambition a new wing, it's that cushioning between you and that fall.
It's the crutches for our fractured hopes and wants. It's the humble sense that folks are greedy.
I'm Ella, and this is my poem, This Is Me. If clouds turn green and the sea blue, custard yellow, pigs fly, would it change you? If politicians spoke the truth and mean it, keep it, believe it, and care, I know, right? Disbelief. But look round, at the square tires and singing balloons, round knives and straight spoons. This world is upside down, but so is ours. Every day we strive ever forward, but take one step back. My grandmother would never do that. Things like that didn't happen in her day. Children, respect. Respect their elders. Respect your elders. The immortal words to me laid down by Baz Luhrmann, who's dancing. The funny chicken at his 75th wedding anniversary. And I laugh, because that is my normal. And if you asked me to change, and if I could change, my answer to you would be to give me the sun and the palm of your hand and not burn. Because my passion burns and the change would be to burn. I'd burn you, giving my passion for change, because my passion burns for life. And to change would be to die. To change, find me a lawyer who doesn't tell a lie. And I'll change my marbles to glass because I've lost them, apparently. And if I needed help, your help, to find them, then I wouldn't be me.
I'm Heather, and this is my poem, Aspiration. I aspire to be black so I can rap without people looking at me thinking, no girl, not that. I aspire to change the world, to practice what I preach, to laugh and live knowing I reach that goal I aspire to achieve. I want to die knowing I live to change the world. All for the better, not like those guys who always drop litter. That's what I aspire to achieve, the world. Not to be shameless or better yet famous, more like the fact that I'm constantly nervous of the world. I aspire to change the world, so successful citizens don't get mugged on the bus, so teenage girls don't get raped because of trust, so babies enter this world without drugs. I want to change this world, so I'm not scared of being threatened by thugs. Guns, knives, bats, dark alleys, POLICE, I aspire to change this world.
My name is Mohammed Ali, and this is my poem, BBT. It's not as easy as A, B, C when you're part of the CBA generation. Where 1, 2, 3 turns into 3, 2, 1. Do or die situation. Don't try this at home. Didn't say anything about the streets. Trying to get a kill streak, mirror everything we see on TV. Good cop, bad cop. I'm a gangster, G. You can't see me because I won't be on your TV. I'll be up there getting a good CV, selling DVDs and getting B's in my GCSEs, hustling for a PS3 to play my COD, Modern Warfare 3, endorsing the idea of a World War 3 while watching BBC documentaries. Propaganda is now on HD, Sky Channel 143. Get it slowly to 103, it's ITV. Here comes the advert about continuity. What am I doing here? I'm not a celebrity. I'd rather watch Scarface, now in 3D. Say hello to my little friend, his name is V, and then in this movie, the bullet doesn't bend, it makes you bleed, sowing the seeds in your kidney beans. Forget about the overdose of reality, Big Brother ain't watching me, cause in life, we divide into mice and men. And I'm more slim than Lenny, but then again, I'm living a pulp fiction, and I ain't Samuel L. Jackson. Life is a roller coaster to my final destination. And this here, my friends, is a termination. Stay in your seats, cause just like the men in black, I'll be back.
I'm Billy, and this is my poem, Native Dreams. Our dreams are in our own native, in encryptions and codes other beings can't decipher. It's ours to conquer, to fly, run, sprint, leap. It's a world that's ours to belong to. But they make sure that pins will follow, like reality-loaded blowouts to prick your dream-filled balloon. You are your own army, and when war is done, hope is spilled like the blood of a child's diluted ambition, stealing the strings of young philosophers' hearts. And our world sits in the loudest silence, with no passionate winds or songs of discovery, just that miraculous grey conformity that is beaten to us by a spiteless whip, our wounds leaking child and some crushed dreams of unfortunate kid. But they stab at our rainbows till the colour leaks out, to exciting hues of blacks and whites, because we don't live to riot. We live to stamp out our choruses and receive identical individuality. Don't try too hard, or ball and chain our originality. Leave me and Joseph to scribble our visions of the jail cell walls, our dreams falling on the deaf ears of bigger pharaohs, whitewashing technicolor coats in case we evolve enough emotion to once again care. Our imagination is our strongest trait. Nurture it and let it grow and bear fruit so that the generation next may eat and be inspired.
My name is Safi, and this poem is called I Aspire to Be Hopeless. I vow to stand by and for Queen of Country, to fight alongside my countrymen with passion for prosperity into the future. I am just a vision, a projection of greater chairs, needs and desires. Am I not a malleable soul so eager to change, to conform to what greater genetics wish to acquire? Am I not? I am just a creation of ashes, shrapnel and gunpowder, agony binded by political correctness and clothes dressed in the suitable attire. Health and safety. I mean, how eco-friendly are times to birth the end and so spreading chaos and fires. I mean, even how safe is security. I mean, I am just the building blocks to the houses near, the threads of the universe and the echoing flex of the global sphere, a perplexing precision. So hold my optimism because I was changed when Montcalm finally lost himself and gave in to indecision. I was changed when the Indian tried to rob the false to foul things lesser given. I was envisioned when the Nur Prophet Muhammad was expanding and spinning. The millions of massacres that I dreamed of reality seen has me standing, beating my own chest among rising disease and dead people who perish screaming and unforgiven. You see, hope is prayer, night times, warming and breathing. But hope is blinded children, begging, oh please help me, in foreign tongue before rights pleading. Hope is the 1780 heaven with a mother screaming as she watches the Baron strangle a child, and the blood pus is slowly unseeping. Hope is after 9/11 when every bearded believer believing was branded harsher than ever before as people raised their hands in prayer to God, but the bullets the bushel was lesser heaving. Hope. Indeed, you never want me to say this, but you want me to say things that keep me still, constant and continuous like the homeostasis, which is as spread as hatred and conforms to ideologies infested in brain discs and they're spinning in 360 degrees revolutionary phases. So you question me on health and safety, because hope is demonized and questioned, even though it's faceless. So I'll say this to myself: how do I replace this with my existence is once? So you cannot replace it, so you question me on health and safety. And I ask you, Palestinian children die with smiles on their faces. Dreaming is to believe, not to hold back anger and grieve with shoeless feet and tear-filled sleeves. To be free, it's you and your soul levitating above the ozone like osmosis, and act like you know this flow, like Jesus' rising seas and the chances given by the medicinal tablets of Moses, and zoom in at me, 200 degrees, and focus. To be free is to believe. I vow to stand by Queen and country. I vow to rot away in agony, suffer for hope, and to perish and disperse into the histories of mankind.